This is perhaps Timex's most iconic watch, whose claim to fame is its legendary legibility. What's good, bro? I'm Louis Gusto. Welcome back to another watch review. Today we're taking a look at this bad boy. It's the Timex Men's Easy Reader watch. We're gonna talk about the specs, materials, features, all that great stuff. But before we get into it, make sure you finesse that like button, drop a comment if you own this watch, and subscribe for more men's fashion and watch content. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of this year. The Timex Men's Easy Reader watch retails for $59 and comes in standard Timex watch packaging. That's a black paperboard box with a red Timex logo, which kind of looks like the Supreme logo. Inside, you'll find the watch on a clear plastic watch stand with a sticker detailing all of its features and, of course, the instruction manual. The Timex Easy Reader watch has a case diameter of 38 millimeters, a case thickness of 9 millimeters, and the watch weighs 45 grams. The Easy Reader watch features a brass case with a mineral crystal, a leather strap with a pin and buckle closure. The Easy Reader watch also features a multifunctional crown. You pull it out slightly to adjust the date, all the way to adjust the time, and push it all the way in to activate that beautiful Indiglow. And now let's take a closer look at the watch face. Underneath that mineral crystal, you have a very basic beige, I want to say, dial. Got the Timex branding in black toward the middle top. Underneath that, Indiglow WR 30 meters, basic minute ticks, and Arabic numerals going from 1 all the way to 12. At the 3 o'clock position, you have the date box surrounded by a black square. On this particular model, the date and the 3 coexist. I do have some analog watches in the collection where the 3 is replaced by the date box. So kind of interesting to see them side by side. The minute and hour hands are very basic, skinny black rectangles, and the second hand comes in that gold trim. It starts off thick and extends out thin. Not too many features to speak of on the Men's Easy Reader watch. It's got that beautiful Indiglow to help you tell the time at night or in a dark room. It's water resistant up to 30 meters, and of course it tells you that date in addition to the time. Now that we got the tech specs out of the way, let's check out how the Timex Men's Easy Reader watch looks on my 7.5-inch wrist. Drop a comment if you own this watch, and in case you want to add it to your collection, I will have an affiliate link in the description below. For over 40 years, the Men's Easy Reader watch has been one of the flagship Timex models. It is exactly what you picture when you think wristwatch. Very minimalist vibes, a basic design, but at the same time, it's constructed from very good materials. This is a watch that's gonna last you decades. The Timex brand has a great reputation. They're known for their reliable watches that are gonna definitely last you. They're gonna stand the test of time, and they're also known to be accurate, which at the end of the day is the most important feature on a watch like this. So what are my personal thoughts on this watch? Well, it reminds me of the wall clocks I saw all throughout my school year. A very basic design, not flashy in any sense of the word. This is not a watch that's trying to grab your attention like so many other things are these days. The black Arabic numerals against that beige dial make it very easy to read. And of course, if the sun sets, you've got that Indiglow that is amazing. When I first saw that, I was like, wow, I did not know that Indiglow could look so good on an analog watch. I'm really hoping for that feature on some of my other analog watches as I pick them up throughout the years. If you're shooting a short film, this would make an excellent movie prop. A watch that a character can wear that the camera's easily gonna pick up and recognize that shouts watch. The leather strap, the brass case with that gold finish, it looks very good from a distance. And if you have someone in your life that's just getting into watches, this would make an amazing gift. Leather strap that's gonna break in over time, easy to read, good Indiglow feature, water resistant, it's gonna last a very long time. If you had to design a watch emoji, the Easy Reader is probably what you would base the design off of. It's also sort of a dad or maybe even grandpa watch. Somebody older whose eyesight's not as good as it once was. Legibility is maybe one of the top concerns for a watch other than accuracy. When you glance at this watch, you can instantly tell the time, and that's very important. It's extremely easy to set as well. You pull the crown halfway to set the date, all the way to set the time. Very simple, nothing too complicated. You push it in for that Indiglow feature. And I imagine this is not a watch that you're gonna have to set too often. It is a Timex after all. With a case diameter of 38 millimeters, it wears somewhat small on my 7.5-inch wrist. I actually prefer a bigger watch case on my wrist. With a watch as simple as this, I would prefer a bigger case. The leather strap is comfortable and the watch overall is very lightweight, but over time it's gonna break in and feel even better. Since I've been reviewing so many watches for this channel and wearing a different model every day. I appreciate when an analog watch can also tell you the date. It's been a couple of times now where I've wanted the date, I've looked at my wrist and like, dang, I gotta look at my phone now because this one's not telling me the date. So I do appreciate that feature. Water resistance is great if you happen to be washing your hands, maybe washing dishes, or if you get caught out in a little drizzle, the watch is gonna hold up. Nothing's gonna happen to it. It does retail for $59, but you can get it for much lower. And in fact, I will have an affiliate link in the description. I picked it up on Amazon for much lower than $59. So with a good price tag, great materials, and of course the Timex brand, you know this is a watch that's gonna last a very long time. It's got a simple, minimalist design, so it's not gonna be too flashy. It's gonna go with a lot of outfits. I wouldn't wear it to the gym, on a nice long run, riding my bike, but definitely running errands, you know, simple tasks if I'm video editing or doing something like that. It's a great watch. Now, with all the great things I have to say, all the superlatives, its iconic status, for me, at the end of the day, it's not quite my style. It's a little bit too simple, a little bit not flashy enough, you know what I'm saying? I prefer my analog watches to kind of grab your attention in some sort of way, whether that's Roman numerals, a flashy bracelet, a cool color, maybe something designed on the dial. This one is very simple. Again, a great starter watch, a great watch for that older gentleman in your life. It's built from good materials, mineral crystal, brass case, leather strap. This is the watch that's not gonna be cheap, not gonna feel flimsy. It's very comfortable on my wrist. I would say it wears a little bit small for its 38mm diameter, but at 45 grams, it's definitely very lightweight. But for me, it's not quite my style. I'll just leave it at that. However, I think it's a great bargain, and if you are a Timex collector, this is an essential one to have in your collection. But let me know in the comments below, what are your thoughts on the Timex Men's Easy Reader watch? It does come in a few different varieties. This one has the brown leather strap with the gold case. Is it a watch that you have in your collection, or are you planning to add it or gift it to somebody else? Like I said, I will have an affiliate link in the description. I appreciate you watching, bro, and I will see you next time. But for now, I am out of here. Time to go. Peace.
Pero yo bailo contigo. Trae tus amigas y yo traigo mis amigos. Ella toma la botella. 1942, me la puedo lo que sea. Ella dice, papi, vente conmigo, te lo bailo.
A classic field watch with a tough nylon strap and a metal case for under $40? No, you're not dreaming. It's the Timex Expedition Scout. What's good, bro? I'm Louis Gusto. Welcome to another watch review. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for more watch content. Today we're taking a look at the Timex Expedition Scout. Let us know in the comments if you own this watch in your collection. This bad boy retails for $62, though you could usually find it for much cheaper, and I will have a link in the description in case you want to add it to your watch collection. The Timex TW4B 15500 comes in standard Timex watch packaging. It's a black box with the red Timex branding. Inside you'll find the clear acrylic watch stand with the beautiful Expedition Scout nestled on it, along with the instructions. So now let's get into some of the materials this watch is made from. It's a bit different from other watches that we've looked at on this channel so far. Starting with the case, instead of resin like we've seen, you've got a metal case here. It's in fact made from a dark brass. It feels really good. It also has a stainless steel case back. The crystal is made from a mineral glass, and the strap is also a bit different. Here you've got a dark green nylon strap with a double loop so that the end of the strap is not going to be flapping in the wind. It does have a pin and buckle closure. So all in all, a very sturdy looking watch constructed of very fine materials. The Timex Expedition Scout has a case diameter of 40mm, a thickness of 11mm, and it weighs 65 grams. As I mentioned up top, the crystal is made from a mineral glass, so it's gonna be a step up from the resin glass seen on cheaper watches. It's gonna be a little bit more resistant to scratches and more durable in the long run. Instead of buttons, this watch has a crown. Makes sense, it's an analog watch. It pulls out so that you can set the time, and when you press it in, you've got that beautiful Indiglo backlight, which we'll talk more about in the review later. Now let's take a look at the watch face. It's pretty standard really. You've got the basic hour markings in Arabic numerals, tick marks in between the numbers. You've got Timex, Expedition, Indiglo branding, as well as the water resistance. And at the 3 o'clock position, you can see the date. Nothing out of the ordinary here. You've got a beigey off-white face color. And of course, you've got the metal that complements that color. The hour and minute hands are colored white with black outlines, and it's got that signature Timex second hand, which I very much appreciate. And of course, if you want to tell military time, it's got your 13 to 24 markers inside the 1 to 12. We've got the materials and dimensions out of the way. Now it's time to look at the features of this Timex Expedition Scout. It's a quartz analog movement, which is extremely reliable. It's got water resistance up to 50 meters and that classic Indiglo backlighting whenever you press that crown in. Outside of that, you're not gonna find many features on this watch. There's no moon phase, there's no month. You're not gonna have a stopwatch or a countdown timer or even an alarm, which I think makes it the perfect watch for certain occasions. And we'll talk about that later in the review. And now that we got the tech specs out of the way, let's take a look at how the Timex Expedition Scout looks on my 7.5-inch wrist. The Expedition Scout is one of Timex's best-selling timepieces, so you know I had to pick it up to review on this channel. First, I'm gonna tell you everything I love about this watch. I think the materials and colors are super dope. That green nylon fabric strap is comfortable, it has a texture to it, and it's gonna go with a lot of outfits. You can rock this to the office, on a nice dinner, or if you're exploring in the woods. It's not a Kelly green, so you might not be able to rock it during St. Patrick's Day, but other occasions and many different outfits, it'll match perfectly. I think dark green is a very masculine color, and it goes very nicely with the color on the face of this watch, as well as the case. All in all, I think it's a good color scheme and very nice material construction. The face itself is very readable and it's got a classic look. You're not gonna struggle telling the time when you look down on your wrist. And if the sun has already set, you can use that handy Indiglo feature to light it up so you can tell all your friends what time it is. The water resistance up to 50 meters is a very welcome feature. It's gonna be a rugged watch, which you would expect from a field watch. It's gonna be a little bit more tough and durable than a standard dress watch, and therefore I think you could abuse it a little bit. You don't have to worry about being very delicate when you got the Expedition Scout on your wrist. This is also the first Timex watch that I'm reviewing on the channel. I'm not a stranger to the Timex brand. As a matter of fact, when I was a kid, I had several Timex digital watches, and I really have fond memories of that Indiglo feature. In fact, I had a really good friend who made up a whole song about the Indiglo, but we'll talk about that in another video. So I do plan on reviewing lots more Timex watches on the channel. Drop a comment on which models you'd like me to take a look at. But with all that said, I don't find myself the biggest fan of this particular model watch. The design is a bit plain for my liking. I'm a guy that likes big, bold watches that make a statement, and this one kind of just blends in. I will say that it looks a lot better on my 7.5-inch wrist than I thought it would. Coming out the package, I wasn't super impressed, nor looking at the product photos, but when I put this bad boy on my wrist, I was like, okay. It's got a nice thickness to it. The metal looks sturdy. It looks tough and rugged. The colors blend well. Like I said, it's gonna go with a lot of different outfits. You can dress this watch up if you want. I do feel like a watch like this fits my lifestyle perfectly. As a YouTuber, I'm editing, I'm behind the keyboard. I travel around New York City to review food and attractions. So a watch like this is perfect. You're exploring in Central Park. A field watch like this is perfect. It blends classic with a little bit of a modern edge. It's a solid everyday watch, but I think that the audience for this one might skew a little bit more conservative, a bit older. This is the type of watch that I would buy for my dad, maybe my grandfather or an older uncle, or somebody who has a little bit more conservative taste in fashion. I wouldn't necessarily wear this watch to the gym, but I think it's perfect for the office, on a date, out with friends, running errands. Like I said, it's a little bit light in the feature department, but I guess that's what the smartphone is for, right? If you simply just need to tell time and you want a little luxury accessory to upscale your outfit, the Timex Expedition Scout is gonna fit in nicely. Speaking of the design, it reminds me of the wall clocks from high school. It's just very basic. When you look a little bit closer, you will see some nice design details. Although I'm not the biggest fan of the date placement. It's at the 3 o'clock position and it kind of blends in with the military time marking. So It could have been in a different color or a different font to make it stand out more. And that's when I say I think this is a more conservative watch. It's got the branding, the Timex, the Indiglo, the Expedition, but it's all very basic and it fits in nicely. It's not gonna be such a conversation starter. It's just gonna be a nice watch to blend into the crowd if that's what you're looking for. The Timex brand is over 100 years old. They're known for making great watches that are gonna stand the test of time, no pun intended. And you can be sure that picking up a watch like this is gonna be a good investment. It'll last you several years. It's gonna look good for many occasions. The Expedition Scout is another in their line of great watches. It's inexpensive, but it doesn't look cheap. And I think that's important to note. There are some budget watches that are gonna look cheap no matter how you dress. But this one, I think you can get away with telling people it costs you $100 and it'll just be a secret between me and you. Overall, I think it's a nicely priced watch with a good amount of features and a classic design. It'd be happy in any watch lover's collection. Leave a comment below on what you think of the Timex Expedition Scout. I'll have a link. Make sure you like this video and subscribe for more watch content, and I will see you next time. Peace. This is an iconic retro digital watch from Timex that'll have you feeling like Marty McFly. What's good, bro? I'm Louis Gusto. Welcome to another watch review. Today we're checking out this bad boy. It's the Timex T78677 in the gold colorway. We'll be talking about the specs, materials, features, and what I think of this classic retro watch. But before we get into any of that, make sure you finesse that like button and subscribe for more watch and men's fashion content. And also drop a comment if you own this watch. In case you want to add it to your collection, I will have an affiliate link in the description below. The T78677 retails for $55 and comes in standard Timex watch packaging. That's a black paperboard watch box with the Timex logo in red. Sort of looks like the Supreme logo. Inside, you'll find the watch on a clear plastic watch stand with a sticker indicating its features, and of course, that beautiful instruction manual. The Timex T78677 comes in a couple different options, but I went with the gold resin case. It has an acrylic crystal, so it will be prone to scratches, and it's got a stainless steel expanding bracelet in that same gold tone. The Timex T78677 has a case diameter of 34 millimeters, a case thickness of 10 millimeters, and the watch weighs 45 grams. Like I mentioned, it does have an acrylic crystal and 4 buttons, aka pushes, 2 on either side of the case. And now let's take a closer look at the watch face. Beneath that acrylic crystal, right in the middle of the dial, you have that greenish LCD screen with black numerals. Surrounding the LCD screen is a black dial. At the very top, you've got the Timex branding, a solid line. All 4 buttons are labeled. You've also got water resistant and the Indiglo branding with a right arrow indicating which button you need to push to activate the light. The button labels are set, start/stop, mode, and split/reset. And now let's check out the features. The Timex T78677 features some, but not all, of the standard features that you would expect on a classic retro digital watch. It features a chronograph complete with lap functionality, a 12-month calendar with the day, date, and year, 12 and 24-hour modes, a daily alarm, hourly chime, and of course that beautiful Indiglo feature that'll help you read the screen once the sun goes down. However, it does not feature a countdown timer. And although the description on Amazon says that it has 2 time zones, I couldn't find that functionality, so maybe I'm just missing something. And it does feature 30 meters of water resistance. You can wash your hands with it. However, I wouldn't wear it to the gym, go swimming, or go out in the rainstorm. Now that we got the materials and tech specs out the way, let's check out how the Timex T78677 looks on my 7.5-inch wrist. So the Timex T78677 is yet another classic retro digital watch that we're looking at on this channel. Previously, we looked at an Armatron and a Casio. So how does this one stack up with the other brands? Well, first and foremost, I gotta say that this is a great looking watch. I know there are some mixed reviews, especially with that gold tone, but to me, it's beautiful. It just screams retro, and it definitely reminds me of the watches that my uncles and grandpa used to wear back in the day. That expanding bracelet really just brings that whole retro vintage vibe home. It's gonna fit very snugly on your wrist, that's for sure. I wouldn't say it's uncomfortable. If you have longer hair on your arm, it may catch, so I would be careful, but regardless, while you're wearing it, it's not gonna tug at your hair, and to me, it's very comfortable. It does have water resistance, but like I said, I wouldn't wear this watch to the gym. Not just because of that water resistance factor, but also it's got an acrylic crystal. So it's gonna be a little bit more prone to scratches. If you bump it up against a barbell or a plate, you may pick up a couple of scratches that you don't want. and it's gonna give it a character that maybe isn't in line with that classic retro look. I wouldn't put this watch through the ringer. Yeah, I would wear it on my food and travel channel if I'm filming a food video around New York City, but I wouldn't wear it when I'm bathing my dog, washing dishes, running errands, or even cleaning up around the house. This is purely a leisure watch in my opinion. It's a fashion, a costume watch maybe. It is gonna be accurate and reliable though, I know that. The Timex branding is super solid. Once you set this watch, you may have to adjust it once per year, if that. With a case diameter of 34 millimeters, I do like the size on my 7.5-inch wrist. It may be too big or too small for you depending on your wrist size. Partially because of that resin case, it is a very lightweight watch. I do appreciate that greenish tint to the LCD screen as well as the gold tone. It just brings everything together. Over time, I'm not sure how the bracelet and the case will hold up, if they're gonna start chipping or anything. I guess we'll find out. Now, as far as features go, it has that beautiful beep when you go from mode to mode, a nice hourly chime, a great alarm, 12 and 24-hour mode, the day and date plus the year, and it does have that classic chronograph, aka stopwatch, but no countdown timer. I think that's a huge miss by Timex for this model. Other classic retro watches have that feature, so I'm not quite sure why the T78677 doesn't have it. With a retail price of $55, it is coming in at a bit of a higher price tag than others, such as the Casio, but you are gonna see it on less risk. The Casios, I feel like you see them everywhere. Timex is a little bit more rare, possibly due to that elevated price tag. I feel like it has a similar look to the Casio A168, but I do have a full video breaking down everything between these two watches. So in case you're deciding between the Casio and the Timex, check out that video after this one. And of course, if you do want to add it to your collection, I do have an affiliate link in the description below. And also with that $55 price tag, I do wish it had a mineral crystal instead of acrylic, because those acrylics really aren't gonna stand the test of time. They're gonna pick up a lot more scratches, then you may have to replace the watch if it gets too ugly. And like I said, I have seen mixed reviews on the look of this watch, but to me, it's a perfect vision of a retro digital watch. Some people run away from that gold tone, but for me, I think it's beautiful. And I think it really goes well with the shirt I'm wearing right now. But even though it does retail for $55, you can frequently find it for less than that. So even though it doesn't have every digital watch feature, it does have a great look. The dial is not too busy. I like the gold tone. I really love that expanding bracelet. I mean, it really just screams vintage. You're not gonna find a whole lot of watches these days with an expanding bracelet. It's usually pin and buckle closure or a clasp. The design is legendary, it has good functionality, and even though it doesn't have the best materials in the world, I can see this watch lasting a very long time in my collection. That expanding bracelet is super retro. Some of these other watches, they say they're retro, but are you really retro if you don't have an expanding bracelet? It features amazing legibility. That Indiglo feature is just top notch. I do like that it has 4 buttons. Some of the other retro watches only have 3, but I wanna know what you think. Put your thoughts on this classic Timex retro digital watch in the comments below. Are you planning on adding it to your collection? Or maybe you already have it. As always, I appreciate you watching, bro. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the page for more watch and men's fashion content. I will see you next time, but for now, I'm out of here. Peace.